Yesterday I spoke to you about decision making process, the process of group decision making and those things. Today I want to talk about the decision support systems. Decision support system is basically an information system which supports business or organizational decision making at planning, management and operational levels. So it is no longer used much nowadays. As I told you yesterday, it has been overtaken by business intelligence systems, but historically DSS played a great role in information systems. Hence, we are studying that. So this is used for decision support to business at organizational levels. This provides support at planning level as well as at operational level. So during planning stage, DSS plays a role, and during operation stage also, when small changes are needed in the plans, then also it plays a role. DSS has got several characteristics. These characteristics are as follows. First of all, please remember that it is used for basically unstructured and semi-structured decisions. For structured decisions, in fact, MIS is better. MIS, which provides regular scheduled reports on various key performance indicators to the managers, that is better for structured support to decisions. But for semi-structured and unstructured decisions, DSS is supposed to be better than MIS. Then it combines raw data, documents, personal knowledge, analytical techniques and models. All these are included in DSS. So in this we have raw data. The data could be taken from Cube, from SharePoint, from PostgreSQL databases, from MySQL databases, from any source the data can be taken. So that raw data is there, and personal decision making capability of the manager is also involved in this, because at every stage the manager can decide which data should be taken, what should be included, what should not be included. So his personal decision making capability also comes into picture. Then you have analytical techniques. Analytical techniques like in business analytics, we say diagnostic tools and predictive tools and prescriptive tools. All these are built to some extent in a rudimentary way in DSS. And finally we have models. These models are statistical models and mathematical models, optimization models, all these are there. DSS supports individuals for decision making and also groups in decision making. So it is suitable for individual decision making as well as group decision making. Then it has a variety of decision trees. Decision trees are the logic behind logical decisions. Every logical decision follows some decision tree. Those decision trees are also supported in DSS. Then it has interactive, easy to use, and it is developed for the ease of the end user. So there could be web integration also, and nowadays mobile integration is also there. So DSS, when it is installed on a company server, its access point will be available on mobile, because managers, we can't expect them to be stationary all the time, to be sitting with a laptop somewhere and taking decisions. So they will be on the move. They will be meeting the clients, they will be visiting companies. So while they are moving, they can have mobile access also. Then it combines human expertise and choice of criteria. So human expertise is very much an important element in DSS, and the criteria on which the decision is taken, that also can be selected by the manager. Then good DSS, they have executive dashboards. Executive dashboards are basically interactive dashboards which provide decision support to top executives, because you can't expect the top executives to write queries or write code. They are not having that expertise. So dashboard is the easiest graphical method for them. With that, they are able to get the information that they want. And there is also hypertext support in this. Certain words, certain pictures, they have hyperlinks behind them. So when the executive clicks on that word or on that picture, the concerned web page also opens. This support is also there. And finally, if the executive wants, he can get the report of the dashboard in the graphic format. So he has several options. He can either save it as a image file, then he can't do anything about it. It is just a frozen snapshot as at that moment. Alternately, he can save it as some interactive file with which he can later interact also. So decision support systems have all these features. In DSS, we have the database, we have the knowledge base, and we have the documents. These are the three elements which go into a DSS. So database provides the basic information. Then knowledge base provides the knowledge part for the decision. And then there are certain documents. These provide the background data, the kind of decision support which is needed by the managers. Decision support systems also have various models of decisions built into that. These decision models can be financial models. For example, internal rate of return, discounted cash flow, These models are regular models, financial models, which are built into that. So for an investment, if you want to calculate the annuity return, you will be easily able to use the financial model and get the information. There are statistical models also. Statistical models are such that you can calculate the aggregation part of a classified data. So data is classified. For each category, you have the option. You can get the summation. Summation is one kind of aggregation. Then you can get mean, you can get standard deviation, you can get median, you can get geometric mean, harmonic mean, all these things you can get. There are also mathematical models built into that. Mathematical models are those which are not statistical in nature but more mathematical. So these are like economic order quantity in supply chain management. That model is built into that, and so on. And finally, we have the optimization models. Optimization is based on the Monte Carlo optimization. That is the one which is most used, and on that also the models are loaded into the DSS. Then outputs of DSS, they can be the transformed data. So the data which is taken from the database, that is transformed into meaningful insights. These insights are the ones which actually help a manager to take a decision. So these are the transformed data, and you can get them in any graphical format like a pie chart, column chart, bar chart, surface chart, etc. The result of decision which is generated by DSS is finally based on the user's criteria. So user has given some criteria for decision making, and on that the decision arrives. Yesterday I told you that there can be multiple criteria decision making. For the same situation, you can use different criteria and get a different decision also. Yes, that's possible. For example, you could use political criteria, economic criteria, ecological criteria, legal criteria, and each will give a different decision. So whatever user has decided as the criterion for decision, that is finally the one which generates the decision for the DSS. The development framework of DSS has several elements. These elements are, first of all, there is intelligence searching. The developers who have to develop DSS, they search for intelligence. What is the functionality required in DSS? What kind of decisions is it supposed to support? So that is the intelligence searching part. Having done that, they go for design alternatives. For every intelligence which is found, there will be multiple design alternatives. All the design alternatives will not be equal, will not be similar in all respects. Cost wise they differ, time of development wise also they differ. So the users time which he has allowed for development of DSS, the cost which he has agreed to incur, that is to be taken into account. So based on the cost which the user has agreed to pay and the time which he has allowed for the development of DSS, based on that, the correct design alternative is chosen. Then having done that, we write the code for the DSS. Code writing is a very routine kind of activity. This is done on various programming languages, C++, C#, Java, and many of the new languages like Python, R, and JS script is there. So these are the various languages which are used for writing the code for the DSS. Then after the code is written, the DSS has to be tested. So in that there is black box testing and white box testing. Black box testing is basically the input-output testing. So you give the required inputs and then you see whether the desired output is coming or not. That is black box testing. Having done that, then we go for white box testing. In white box testing, the actual working of the code is seen. So how is the code working? Is it really doing the logic which we wanted and all that? White box testing is needed because in black box testing you have to only give the required inputs and get the desired output. It is not possible for the tester to give all the infinite number of inputs. Inputs can be with error, without error, multiple inputs are there. So it is not possible for a tester to think of all the inputs and try them out. So that's why white box testing is also necessary. So after this is done, then the DSS is supposed to be ready. So in this DSS, there are 3 technology levels which are involved. One is the application. Application is the DSS itself. Then there are generator tools. These are the case tools. So these are the ones which are used. These are like Crystal, Analytica, etc. And I think these are the tools which are used for generation of the application. And then you have the background knowledge of the developer. The developer needs to know the function libraries and he needs to know the linking of modules also. So various modules. Modules may not all be developed by the same developer. Modules can be developed by different developers. So one developer may be in Bangalore, another developer may be in Noida. So they develop the various modules and then the main developer, he has to link these modules. So all that is involved in DSS development. DSS has several taxonomies. Taxonomies means the words mean that the DSS can be thought of as several things. So what can it be thought of? That has to be seen. DSS taxonomies are based on several criteria. These criteria are relationship with the user, mode of assistance, and scope of the DSS itself, and orientation of DSS, and what kind of support it can provide to managers. So on the basis of relationship with the user, we have the following taxonomies. DSS can be passive, active, and cooperative. Passive is that which doesn't have much interaction with the user. It's a passive software. In that, the user simply gives the data or links the data from the original data source and he gets a decision. That is passive. Active is in which the user will have a more active role. So he can even lay down the criteria on the basis of which the data should be chosen and brought into DSS, and he can choose the model which should be used for generating the decision, and so on. And then we have the best of all, the cooperative DSS. In cooperative DSS, there is very good cooperation between the DSS software and the user. So user can give his inputs at various stages, and those are taken into account to generate the decision. Then on the basis of mode of assistance also, the taxonomy of DSS is arrived at. So on the basis of mode of assistance, we can have communication driven, data driven, document driven, knowledge driven, and model driven. As the names itself are very clear, communication driven basically depends upon communication between the user and the DSS. Data driven is driven by the basic data. Basic data is most important there. Then document driven takes into account a large number of documents in the enterprise server. In the enterprise there will be multiple documents. These could be in various different formats. These could be Word documents, text documents, Excel documents. So these are taken into account, and from them the data is taken and information is also taken. Then there is knowledge driven, which depends upon the knowledge which is implicit or explicit. Explicit knowledge is that which has to be stated, and implicit knowledge is that which is not stated but it is there in the software and it is taken into account. And then there is model driven DSS also, depending on the statistical models, optimization models, etc. The DSS is driven. Then we have on the basis of scope. So on the basis of scope, the taxonomy of DSS can be classified as enterprise-wise and desktop. So desktop DSS are those which are available on the desk of one manager, and enterprise-wide DSS, these are definitely more common now. They are the ones for which the access is provided to various managers in the enterprise. They are the enterprise-wide DSS. Then orientation of DSS also matters for taxonomy. So orientation can be text orientation, database orientation, spreadsheet orientation, solver orientation, role orientation, and compound. Compound will include all the above. So these are the various orientations of DSS which are possible. And then we have the support is the basis for taxonomy of DSS. So support can be three types of support are there. Personal support, which supports the individual decisions. Group support, which supports the group decisions. And organization support, which supports the organization's decision. Now I would also like to mention to you that in the present day, these DSS, as I told you, they are already outdated, and presently the embedded analytics is much more in favor in the market. So in embedded analytics, the business intelligence tools, decision support tools, they are built into the software which is being used for doing the work. So a company may be using ERP, or it may be using CRM like Salesforce automation, or an accounting software. So in modern times, the decision support system is integrated into these applications. So SAP is one ERP where the embedded analytics is provided. So there we have an application which will be able to provide you analytic support there. Then e-commerce sites like Amazon and Make My Trip, they also have embedded analytics in them. So analytics is not separate. Analytics is built into the e-commerce application itself. That software which is running for e-commerce, that only provides the decision support system also. So for example, on Amazon, I have, let us say, an account, and I have purchased some items on Amazon. I have purchased some dal and some butter and all that. So Amazon knows from my browsing history, from my purchase history, from my payments history, what are the other things I normally buy. So when I try to check out, it says, before you check out, consider the following, whether you are missing something. This comes from the analytics. For each person it will be different. For you it will be different. For you it will be different. For me it will be different. Because our browsing history, our purchasing history and payment history, they are all separate. So like that, the DSS, the decision support system, is built into the main software of the e-commerce companies. There are several benefits of using DSS. These benefits are such that they will improve the efficiency of the organization. By efficiency of the organization, I mean the organization's ability to generate profits, generate business, and generate customer satisfaction. All these are improved when we use DSS. So, how does it improve the efficiency of the company? First of all, with the help of DSS, the decisions are faster. The decisions are faster because less time is needed for collection of data and for analyzing the data, for modeling the data, for aggregating the data. Less time is taken. Without DSS, how you would have done? You would have done it by the method which I told you yesterday, the primitive method. You could have linked your Excel worksheet with the source of data. Then from there you would have filtered the data, you would have cleaned the data, and you would have classified the data, you would have aggregated the data. All this you would have done yourself. So that is very time consuming. With DSS, it becomes very easy because DSS is already linked to your data source. Data source is already known to DSS. So since the data is already available, it knows how to clean it, how to make it all right. So therefore, you are able to take fast decisions. Faster decision means faster work, faster efficiency. That's the benefit of DSS. As a result of fast decisions, the organization's control also improves. Organization is able to control the managers more efficiently. It also encourages exploration. Now, this is something which needs to be explained. Normally, what happens? Normally, managers are bogged down with routine decisions. So, in a day, the manager may be spending maybe 4 hours or 5 hours in a day taking decisions. And how does he do that? He will do it in the normal manner of collecting the data and analyzing the data. With DSS, all that becomes very fast. So, the manager has free time. When he has free time, he is able to explore. So, that's how the creativity will come into the picture. The manager will be able to be more creative and he will be able to explore different ideas. So, what are the different ideas? Like, how can I satisfy my customers better? What product offerings I can add to my e-commerce site? All that he will be able to think. Then there is faster problem solving. Yesterday also I told you, problems are there in each and every company. At every time there is some problem or the other. The problem could be about attrition of human resources. It could be about lack of sufficient footfalls in my mall. So in all these problems, the solution is to be found. And all the problems which are faced by an organization, they are of a pressing nature. They are urgent. They need quick solutions. These quick solutions emerge from DSS. And then it promotes learning. The managers, they are able to learn more because they are using advanced technology. They are able to learn more, and there is evidence to support decisions. because whatever is done in DSS, an audit trail remains. How the decision was arrived at, all that is saved. The process is also saved. So, the evidence is always there by which the manager can prove at a later date how he has taken a decision. This is important because if the decision goes right, nobody will ask you anything. Nobody may even appreciate you. But what happens if the decision goes wrong? Then you are asked to explain. You are a professional wage earner. You are drawing salary. So if you have taken a decision because of which the company has lost something, you are definitely going to be asked to explain. So at that time, this evidence to support your decision is most important. The next benefit of DSS is that it creates competition within the organization. So different managers, they would try to compete with each other in solving problems, in arriving at superior decisions, and overall it automates the managerial process. The managerial process of planning, organizing, directing, motivating, controlling, these are the managerial processes. These are automated with decision support system. So these are the various benefits by using decision support systems. Now I would like to tell you about the applications, major applications of DSS. The most important application of DSS is in marketing area. Marketing area is the one where maximum strategic decisions are taken. So that's where the use of DSS is also maximum. So you could compare your sales figure territory wise. You could compare sales figure zone wise, region wise, or as a time series. So x-axis is time, y-series is sales. You could see a time series of your sales figure. Then in finance also, there is good application of DSS. So in finance, you could have projected revenue based on certain sales assumption, and you could have capital replacement models built into that. When a capital asset should be replaced, all these can be done on the DSS. Then DSS is also used in medical diagnosis. Medical diagnosis is a very good field again for DSS, because medical diagnosis is all logical. It is all based on logic. So the doctors, they basically conduct a battery of tests on a patient, and then based on the results of those tests, they decide what is wrong with the patient and they prescribe a course of action. This is all purely logical. It is so logical that it can be totally automated on DSS. That's a very frightening scenario, because if this technology becomes widespread and everybody starts using it, what will the doctor do? Doctor will have no role actually. So this is a thing which is to be really thought of. And now artificial intelligence tools are also getting built into that. There is ChatGPT for text-based artificial intelligence, which can give all the answers. And Bing also has chats based upon AI. Google also has chats based upon AI. So when all this is integrated into DSS, the medical diagnosis gets practically revolutionized. Then the next application of DSS is in bank loan applications. Now here also the process is quite logical. So a customer approaches a bank for a loan. Now he has certain assets, certain liabilities, certain loans. These are to be taken into account, and then we have to decide how much loan we can disburse to this customer. This is purely logical. There is no need for any human interface in this. This process can be totally left to technology. Then agriculture production for sustainable development, that also can make use of DSS. DSS is also made use of in many other areas, like it is used in forest management. In forest, you have to harvest, scheduling of wooden logs based upon the transportation network, based upon the ecosystem protection. So there is a sustainability angle and there is a profitability angle also. So you harvest more logs, there will be more profitability, but then it is not sustainable. You can't go on taking logs from the forest will become denuded. So we have to give time to various trees to grow. So forest management also has sustainability and